Hello again. Still can't speak. 5 hours later. I told you guys I was going to be back. And we're going to be back because after these last couple of weeks, this little unannounced hiatus, we're going to be coming fast and furious, if you will, with the Enjoy Every Sandwich. And I got a bunch of guests that I've been having to wrangle like a pack of wild cats because people are busy. And it's that time of year. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it because she's got a lot of balls in the air and a lot on her schedule. I'd like to introduce everyone to my friend, Jenn. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
So I didn't want to. I'm good. I didn't want to screw it up. Is it Bilcze? Is that how you say your last name?
Bilcze.
Mm-hmm. Bilcze. Okay, so I would have gotten it right.
Most people get it wrong. It's okay.
Well, I don't think my name is that complicated, and they said it wrong at my graduation. My family almost missed me graduate from college, and they even had like a hotline to call into just to clarify if there were any concerns about the pronunciation of your name. And I called and I left a message, and I've probably told this story on the podcast before. And the guy was like, he had another graduation. That was his excuse, so that he didn't listen to the recording, and he announced me as Nicholas de Simon, and my grandmother and my parents and everybody almost missed the whole thing.
And that's why I was going to ask how they pronounced it.
There's a lot of different ways to screw it up. I don't think it seems pretty straightforward to me, but I get it with you when you're throwing a couple of consonants together. Sometimes it gets screwy.
Yeah. I hear Blicky. I've heard Belichick.
Hey-o.
Bilcze.
Okay.
You never know.
Well, more importantly than that, we need to talk about so let's go back a couple steps. So you and I first met, we were at Studio 221B.
That's right.
Over in the grind. This was like almost a couple of years ago now, I feel like, right?
I mean, it's been at least a year. It was right at their opening, so it's probably been a year.
Yeah, at least a year. So over a year. I lose track of time. And we don't need to get into the steps that happened along the way, but you had been laid off from your job, you and a friend of yours, and you were kind of like, what's next, right?
Yes.
And I was in a kind of a what's next stage myself.
Yes.
And PS of the story being that when you're entrepreneurial in spirit and you have the desire to make a change and the desire to kind of have control over your circumstances and whatnot, a lot of times what you start out with as your idea can change as the road winds around. And that's what's happened with me. That's why I'm sitting here with a podcast microphone in front of me, surrounded by all my wonderful toys. And that's why you have, and as I was like typing up the intro with you in the background before we went live, you were like, I started seeing texts and clicking away, and you're like, wait, because you, so at the time you were starting a concept that was called Curated Chaos, right?
Correct.
This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that is like the spirit of that is kind of what pointed you in the right direction. So start from there and kind of, you don't have to go like all far back as far as the decisions that were made that got you to this point. But now you are establishing Maren Blue, which is I'm going to let you explain it because it's different than what you've been doing with Coastal Concierge for the last several months, and definitely quite a bit different from the Curated Chaos. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So the long and short of it is I've really needed to use the world as my playground for the last, I'd say it's been about 10 months since I was laid off. And that was my second layoff in 2 years. So to your point, I decided I'm ready to take control. I was burnt out from the corporate life anyway. And so it just became the right time, but I needed to play, I needed to explore, I needed to learn. So Curated Chaos was the kickoff of that. It was a blog that originally was started with a friend of mine in the area to document our layoff journeys. And it quickly turned into all kinds of learning about social media and experimenting, channeling that into what you mentioned, which was Coastal Concierge Solutions, doing some personal services work as a business here locally. And all of that truthfully has gotten me to the place that I think I knew all along I wanted to be. Maybe was just a little too scared to actually go for it, but I will be launching Maren Blue. And I'm so excited. Maren Blue will be an interior design service firm. I will do both virtual and local interior design services. And then I'm also going to have a online coastal decor boutique.
Oh, cool.
And that was a bucket list for me. I thought that's something I would maybe have a storefront when I retire, and sitting there with all the cute little coastal decor and drink coffee and talk to all the people that came in and out all day. And, you know, as all of this evolved for me over the last 10-ish plus months, it all led me here, and this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm super pumped.
So what do you think was the biggest change that had you switch tracks from the concierge services to this design and decor mode?
Yeah. So I'm a big person that relies on feeling.
Okay.
And the entire time, one of the things that felt right was the exploring. So kind of treating the world as my playground, the exploring and the learning. One of the things that didn't feel right was how I originally packaged and went out and marketed Coastal Concierge Solutions. And so as I started to learn the services that actually I really don't think I want to do that, as well as the services that I was getting a bit of business in, and then the services that I wanted to do that I wasn't becoming known for. And I really just, you know, it was this, I don't want to say an epiphany because there wasn't one single moment, but there was a lot of learning that led me into a place of, okay, this doesn't feel right. This is not how I want this to be going.
Yeah.
And I just kind of knew all along. It just took me a while to get there, and a lot of exploring and a lot of learning. But all of it was intentional, and it's been a blast, and I'm glad it's landed me exactly where I couldn't have dreamed of being anywhere different right now. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Thank you. I know you've been such a great support. I appreciate you.
Likewise, my friend. So you're like right in the, like, when is this launching? What are we looking at, like, time wise? Do you have it? Do you have a rough time frame, or are you like dates on the calendar?
Yeah. So, well, I get super, what I call trigger happy. I just get so excited. I'm like, oh, it's going to launch in 2 weeks, but no, realistically, I am working on curating some of the decor for the boutique. The design of the website is still underway. So I would say I'm probably going to be starting some marketing for soft launch in 3 weeks.
Nice.
And I'm going to say about a month to 6 weeks, the website will be out there. I want to be very careful and make sure I have it exactly how I want it. And so I didn't commit myself, even though I want to get it out there quickly. I'm not pushing myself to do so because I want it to look and feel a certain way by the time I get it out there. So we'll say about a month and a half, and I'll be rocking. But I do have my first full home client. So the work is there and the work is happening, but still a lot to do before it goes out and fully ready public.
So this primarily, you already have work lined up from a word of mouth perspective, like from your contacts and everything, which is awesome. And this is going to have you're going to have a physical location and for this to exhibit this stuff, you said, right? Is that when you said? Because I thought you said right before when you were saying There was, I feel like there was something that you said that made me think that there was going to be an actual.
You probably heard me say it was a bucket list for me when I retired. I always thought I would have a storefront.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry.
No,
so
that's okay.
Who knows? It's something that could be, but for right now, this is going to be like a virtual remote situation, but obviously on site in terms of the things that you're going to be doing for these homes and for these homeowners. It's very exciting. Yep. Anything that is related to homes, period. I feel like every other realtor that I meet is married to a contractor of some kind, and there's obviously this is an exponentially growing area. So anything related to homes, obviously, as they continue to build them, not necessarily in Hilton Head, but obviously in Bluffton, there's still some building going on, and obviously Palmetto Bluff, and then out towards Hardyville and some of these other adjacent towns. Are you going to be just South Carolina, or are you willing to go over into Georgia as well?
Well, so I'm offering the services both locally and remotely.
Awesome.
And here's the thing: the business and the decor is coastal focused, and so my signature style is what I call coastal calm. It's kind of a result of all these years I've been in corporate, and I've had a ton of stress and worked a ton of hours, and I know how important the environment is. And I want to help bring that calm to others who have experienced kind of that same thing, or just can't get that. You want to walk into your home and be like, I can relax. So, but the client that I'm working with right now, they're actually in New York. So I'm working with them remotely. And the way that I'm designing my service offerings, I can work remote with someone who is remote and will never live here locally in Bluffton, or I can work with someone, on site here in Bluffton as well. So I'm really trying to design it so that I can do all of that, and kind of the world is my oyster. Is the way I look at it. Yeah. So.
And obviously I would assume you're going to be partnering with certain, companies that do certain things, probably, right? Like different, different local, contractors and things like that. And then do you envision like having a staff of employees, or do you think this is something that you would be able to handle the lion's share of yourself?
Did you just see my face? I was like,
yeah.
No, truthfully, I would love to grow it into a business where I do have a staff of employees. I will have some family that will be doing some work with me in the background, and would love for it to be as much of a family business. Exactly. But starting off, I need to take. I'm hoping I'm taking kind of a full solid year to really get my feet under me and learn well, so that when it comes to growing and scaling, I'm doing it well and in the best way possible. So, there's always a lot to learn, as you know, but what you just said, I had the coolest conversation yesterday that was kind of like a dream come true conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that is important to me through Maren Blue is to feature artists, specifically local artists. I love to support small businesses. And I found an artist who lives in Beaufort, and I love her work. She's amazing. I started communicating with her, and I'm like, I want to buy some of her pieces and, feature her and tell her story through Maren Blue. And, sell some of her really cool pieces that fit in with the Maren Blue aesthetic. And we ended up in a great conversation. And we're actually now talking about designing a collection for Maren Blue that she will paint, and we're going to design the collection together so that it's completely the Maren Blue aesthetic. So it'll be a one of a kind collection. How cool is that?
It's interesting.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
It's incredible. Congratulations. It's very exciting. And I think that the takeaway from this is there were quite a few periods of time when I was trying to figure out what I was doing with this and what I was doing elsewhere in my professional life. And I got to a point where it's not that I was forcing something in particular, but I got to a point where I just decided for myself to just kind of listen to what the universe was telling me to do, if that makes sense.
It does.
So yeah, I was like, instead of trying to figure out what I'm going to do about this or what I'm going to do about that, you know, because of this job, I cross paths with this person. And because of, I went to this event. I mean, it's exactly like we started the conversation from, you and I connecting there. I went to the grand opening there at the Grind of the studio. And then about, I don't know, several weeks later, we did an episode of the podcast there with, I'm drawing a complete blank, with Leah from Downtown Deli and Downtown Catering. And it's one of the best ones that I've done.
Oh, nice.
Also because of the fact that, Matt's got a great studio there and he does great work. But I met you guys there, you and Sarah, and that's the exact type of thing that I'm talking about. It's like, you just have, you cross paths with certain people that they may do something else and they may be doing something that it's just in a completely different universe than what you're living in. But, and it's not about like, oh, what can I, like, how can I benefit from it? It's just that if you're conversing with and you're, I don't like the word is networking, but whatever, when you're communicating with people that are like-minded is kind of the word that I'm looking for, but it's more like-spirited, in terms of what, and I don't know. I think you had a feeling about, even though we had met for the first time, you kind of had a feeling about me. I had a feeling about you. And it was kind of the acknowledgement of like, yes, the being laid off from your job might've been but this is not like these ideas just popped into your head out of nowhere. You had a desire to do something bigger and better. And you just needed to get, nudged off the ledge, if you will. Cause then it comes to a certain point where you're like, well, I have to do something. And the one thing I will say about this endeavor, this food media, whatever you want to call it, this podcasting, this thing that I'm doing is, for the moment at least, it's a passion project of mine. That's not something that I depend on to pay my bills, which is kind of a good thing because I can take my time with it. I'd be much further along with it than I am if I had any sort of budget. But I've been also having to focus on, my working life, which fortunately now is related to that in a way. I mean, I'm still a mortgage lender, but I've expanded into other things, and I'll get into detail with that with the audience when the time is right. I mean, there's hints all over the place. If you're not paying attention, it's kind of right in front of your face, but it's not about me. My point is that if you have that desire and you want to put your energy and your time towards something like this, you just have to be prepared for the bends and breaks in the road that are going to come around. But if you believe in yourself and you know, and you're confident, and the way that you speak about it with such conviction that that this is what you're meant to be doing. I feel very similar to what I'm doing right this moment and what I've also been doing outside of this show, if you will, or this medium, this, platform or whatever it is. So that's the reason why I know you've been asking me for the last several weeks, what are we going to talk about? This is what we're going to talk about. And I think we need to talk further about it when I know we got like 10 minutes before you got to go. And I think we should continue this conversation. And I know that you're already interested in enjoying some sandwiches with me during the course of the remainder of the month as well.
You just posted a sandwich from Nosh. I love Nosh, first of all. Owners are fantastic people, but you posted this. Let's be honest, everything you post, I see it and I'm like, I really need to get that. But that sandwich you posted from Nosh, it like triggered the like drooling function. It was so good.
Means Michael and Jenn and company are doing a good job. So we have plenty of opportunities for throughout the remainder of the month to grab some lunch, and hopefully you could jump on one or two of these spotlight videos with me. But before I let you go, since we have like 10 minutes or so before you got to get on, and you have a lot of going on with, I'm wearing the Lawton Station hat because Jenn is my newest neighbor over here in the neighborhood. And so you have a lot, as with most spouses and parents that have sports and so many activities, as they say in Step Brothers, and a lot that, like, I lived in it. I went to New Jersey for a week, and I stay with my cousin, and his son has baseball and then basketball the next day, and then his daughter has a couple of different cool things that she does. So it's just I'm like just in the middle of it, just watching in Grand Central Station. It's a lot of things that can happen, right? But but what I would say is there anything else that you would like to cover, as far as whether it's that kind of lifestyle stuff or anything else additional for the business that you might be excited about, or anything else? I usually like to kind of bring it back around before I let somebody go with kind of like what's coming up. I know you talked about the rough timeline. You'd be in a couple of weeks away you said 3 weeks from what was that part?
Yeah, I'm going to say month and a half. I think it'll be fully out there.
Okay, about a month. Somewhere between a month and a half. So you're getting close with that. Is there anything else as far as that endeavor that you'd like to talk to, or anything else that you'd like to cover before I let you go?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm excited about the business. I really appreciate you letting me talk about Maren Blue. I'm extremely, extremely excited about it. I'm excited about the work I'm doing with my client right now. And I look forward to talking more about the business and kind of the story behind the business. But, I think I just will touch on something that you said to me when we met at Cahill's for lunch. So that was the last time we met for lunch, that I think is important. If anyone listening to this might be on this kind of same journey that you and I have been on, which is we've known there's something we want to accomplish. We have some passions. We maybe have gotten into some things that wasn't exactly the right path, but this is a windy journey, right? But there was one thing you said to me when we met at Cahill's that I love, that has stuck with me, which is just get started. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. Just get started. Just do it. And I love that, because part of my philosophy throughout this entire for me, the journey's been longer than 10 months. I mean, it was before layoff that I started this journey, but I've taken a bias for action. So I am not a person that's looking for perfection, but I've taken a bias for action. And it was really cool to hear you say the same thing, that you've experienced in your journey. That's how you're going to get it started. That's how you're going to move forward. And that's been my experience as well. And so, I think it can be confusing for, like I've had days where my husband has been like, what are you even doing? What are you really doing? Right. And it's confusing for someone who's watching someone explore and learn and evolve and grow and move through this windy, crazy journey. But I will say the one thing for me, and that I will also carry on to anyone else who I talk to that's in this journey, is you just start, just go, do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start, and it's going to lead to where you're supposed to be. So, and that's been true for me.
Foot on gas.
Yeah, that's right. Foot on gas. And who cares what anybody else thinks? It's for me, it's for you. It's, it's our life. We gotta make it what we want it to be. We got to step into our full potential, right?
Well, you mentioned two things there. One is just the continuous momentum. And it's okay, by the way, to have a day or two here or there, or sometimes several days at a time, where you're just not doing anything, as long as, you snap out of that and get back on the bike, if you will, and keep pedaling. But you also said about, in terms of like what people think. So that's a bit complicated for me, because I am trying to think of the right word to do this without making my mom mad at me, or I don't have it's not about not having a filter. I know when, like, I've learned the hard way a few times when I need to keep my mouth shut about certain things. But I say that to say that it's not that you don't care what other people think, because it's hard not to when you're putting yourself out there to do. Like, anybody who's human is going to feel a certain way about someone that might have not a differing opinion, but maybe a somewhat negative opinion about what you're doing. What I'll say about that is, and yes, I have people that don't particularly like me. It just came up in conversation a couple times with a couple people today. And that used to be something that was not necessarily difficult for me, but it was something that I would spend, even if it was just a little bit of time, too much time. More than zero amount of time is too much time, because that person or those people have absolutely no idea what's going on in your life, and they don't know what drives you. And most of the time when you're going to have opinions and thoughts and things like that, it's going to have nothing to do with anyone that actually knows you and cares about you. And a lot of times I also feel like those come from, the issues of their own that they're projecting on you, like jealousy and things like that. So, not that I want to take a turn to negative town as we wind things down here, but the bottom line is you're doing a great job. You're keeping things moving along. Anyone that's trying to do something new just has to, like we said, keep their foot on the gas. It's not about like, oh, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Well, no, human beings going to care what other people think, but they don't have the right to weigh in on. Now, when you're talking about your husband or your wife or your children or your, close friends that you're going to want to get feedback from, most of the time you're not going to get like feedback that's going to discourage you. You're going to get them telling you to go after it, because nothing makes someone happier than seeing someone that they care about doing something that they enjoy and it making them happy. I mean, the pursuit of happiness is going to be different for every person. I know that, as they always say, like, money can't buy happiness or whatever. Well, money is also not the most important thing, because I worked for 20 years in a business that could be extremely lucrative at times and also can take a lot out of you, mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically, believe it or not. So I'm extremely proud of you.
Here's what I think it's all about. Just to touch on a few points you mentioned. I think it's all about stepping into who you're meant to be. And only you and whatever power you may believe in know what that is, right? And other people might be watching it as maybe it's completely messy. I mean, for someone like me, I didn't have any problem putting out there the things that I was doing and talking about what I was doing. And did I know it?
And you were doing a lot of different stuff too. There was some fashion stuff involved. There was some lifestyle stuff, but I also got it also, and I didn't mean to cut you off, also got you reps for whatever this thing is going to be. It might've been a different thing that you were focusing on, but also got you to a certain extent out of your comfort zone to do those types of things. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and here's the one thing along the way, I will tell you that I did have someone that I respect as a business mind. I talked to them and they said, you really need to hone in on your one niche. You really need to reel it in. You've got all these things here, and this is where you need to be if you want to be successful in business. And, you listen to, all these business experts and entrepreneurs, and there is something to that. Absolutely. But if I'm being true to myself, I like to be involved in multiple things. I will not be well and do well and feel well and get lit up every day if I have one thing that I'm focused on. I like to have multiple things happening around me, and that's how I perform at my best. And so, and that's where it just kind of leads me back to, it's all about stepping into who you're truly meant to be. And only you know that, only you know how you function best. Only you know what's going to light you up all day, every day. And, you know, how you get there, it's your personal individual journey. And, you know, I've had to learn along the way, people are going to say what they're going to say, and that's their problem. It's not mine. That's their problem. And, you know, the people who see the value in what we're doing and understand and maybe have already been on this journey, you know, they'll be the folks that'll lift you up. And so those are the people you have to find and surround yourself with. And so it's not an easy thing, that's for sure, but it's a lot of fun learning, growing all day, every day.
Well, yes, exactly. As it pertains to Maren Blue, you don't even have a website yet, and you already have business going. So I think you're going to be just fine. I'm excited to see it come to fruition. You're a creative mind like myself, so I'm sure we'll start seeing some stuff on social media, which I'm excited about. And like I said, I'll send you the list of where I'm going to be bouncing around for the next couple of weeks, and I'd love to have you in for at least a sandwich on the tour. Before I let you go, anything that you have eaten recently, anything that you're looking forward to eating, any of your, whether it's a date spot or if you I'm sure you guys find the time once in a while to do that, or even if a family type of a family outing, anything that you'd like to give a quick shout out to before I let you go?
I sure will. It's a tried and true. So my husband just celebrated his birthday.
I saw that. Happy belated birthday.
I will tell him. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We went to Frankie Bones with another couple.
I did see that. Bluffton?
In Bluffton, yes.
Right.
We used to go on to Hilton Head all the time before Bluffton was here. It's been our date night spot. It's just been a tried and true favorite for us. And I'm going to tell you what, I had 2 cannolis and they were amazing. My dinner was good. Dinners are always good at Frankie Bones. It's such a great, reliable, always good place. But those cannolis, chef's kiss. They were so good. And I ate so much. Listen, I mean, I had so much sugar that I was honestly sick because I'm in my elder years, and now my body apparently can't handle all that sugar. But those cannolis were amazing. Amazing.
Frankie Bones does a great job. Chef Andrew Dykes on Hilton Head. He was in on our soup tour in the fall, and he did a couple different, because they can't do the same soup for 3 weeks because it barely even lasts for a week because it's so popular. My dad goes there a lot of times for lunch with like the Italian American Club. But even out here in Bluffton, like sometimes we can't make up our mind what we're going to do for takeout. We'll do a Frankie Bones order. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think you can find out. I'm a big special hunter. I think you can find out on their website what their specials are. Otherwise, you can call them and they'll be kind enough to tell you what they're doing. I love the fact that you can grab and go, you know, chicken noodle soups and prepared foods and things like that as well, much like you can from the Surge Kitchen on the island. So, yeah, I mean, listen, there sometimes is a, I don't want to say a stigma, but there's sometimes people have an attitude when they're talking about like these larger restaurant groups. I don't feel that way. In a lot of these, whether it's owned by Surge or Crab or some of the other ones, doesn't change the fact that might be not a mom and pop. It might be a different ownership structure, and it might be owned by a larger parent company, but they're still extremely talented chefs, and there's still a lot of hardworking food and beverage professionals that work at a lot of these larger groups. So I give everybody a fair chance. I'm not sure if we're going to have Surge or Crab in for the sandwich tour. We had a couple declines that they'll probably be back in the fall for this, because some of these places, even though it's not like summertime yet, are already pretty busy. So ours is going to be mostly represented by the more individually owned businesses, but the fact of the matter is that they do a great job, and we're lucky to have, you know, it's not like being back home where stuff sometimes would be a block or two away. Obviously, you know, if you're going to go out down here it's usually 15-20 minutes regardless of where you're going. But I'm very grateful to have options, like even like I said, chain type of options, like chicken salad chick and a couple of other things like that, right nearby. There in Buckwalter Plaza, Buckwalter Plaza, right? Berkeley Place, Buckwalter Plaza, I think so.
Yep. Well, and we've got the new we've got Cassandra's Kitchen down there. We've got the new Wine Time right over in Washington Square area.
Yes.
And that's actually been a fun spot to go. I like the atmosphere inside. I think it's just kind of cozy and quaint, and they've got a Lambrusco that's really good. If you like Lambrusco.
This is what people come here for. This is the stuff that they need to hear from you, Jen.
Yep, Lambrusco at Wine Time. It is. I'm very picky about the wine that I drink. I tend to be a clean crafted. But the Lambrusco is not a clean crafted, but it's got just the right amount of bubbly to it. It's sweet, but it's not so sweet that by the end of the glass, you're done.
So you must like that shop downtown then.
I actually haven't been to that shop downtown. I know.
You got to get on that, girl.
I know.
Really good. I know. Why is the name Juice Box? Yes, that's it. Right next to the my friend Taylor and the gang at Realty One Group Low Country. If you're looking at their building, it's right to the right of that. And they even had a school pizza bake there sometime last year, where they had school pizza post up outside of there. So
what's nuts is since I've been in Bluffton for almost 19 years. And I've either worked in Savannah. I worked in Savannah my first 6 years living down here. And then I've worked remotely since then. And I've not done a ton of exploring in the community. And that's one of the things that I've said to my husband. I'm so excited now that I'm going to be working more and really integrating into the community. Like, I want to live here. I want to experience living here. And there's so much I need to explore. You would think in 18 years, I'd know all the ins and the outs and all the great places to eat. Truly, I'm going to be exploring, and that's fun. But that Lambrusco, yeah.
Okay. You guys ever make your way over to Savannah or no?
Not so much at this point. I mean, I was over there all the time when I worked there, but I think that we just, I don't know, we have a lot to explore locally, and I need to do that. Savannah kind of was my stomping ground for a while, and we do, we go over for the like the candlelight concerts. Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to one of those this month. I'm excited about it.
Oh, those are amazing. It's such a great experience. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And we always pick up Donato's over there. So I'm giving another shout out, but that's an Ohio pizza. So I always get Donato's pizza. Okay. Yes. Have you had Donato's? If you have not,
I have not. It's hard for me with pizza because that's like I want a pizza on a Friday night. So I say they suffer. They're not suffering from me not being there, but I'm saying in terms of the things that I choose from, pizza drops down lower on the list because usually if I'm out and about on the island or over in Savannah, it's during the day. And I'm usually not looking to eat pizza like for lunch. So I still haven't been to Vinny Van Gogh's. I did Squirrels before they moved out. When Fish Bar moved in there, and I had one of the best dinners of recent memory, this past Saturday at Fish Bar. But no, I need to get on that. I say because yes, you there's plenty for you to explore even just right here in town, but being where we are, specifically here in Lawton Station, what I love is that I can be most places that I want to be in Savannah between a half hour and 35 minutes. Most places that I would want to go in Hilton Head, which I've done most of the Hilton Head restaurants, but I still play my favorites. And there's still, every once in a while, there's something new that pops up. If you're going to the South End from here, again, same thing, depending on the traffic, 35, 40, 45 minutes. And then same thing out going towards Beaufort. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. I drive 50 minutes just to go to Beato's to get burgers and barbecue and stuff like that out on St. Helena. So we are very blessed to live where we live. It's exciting. I'm excited to experience it for someone like me that's been here for 5 years, not a fraction of the time that you've been here, but I am obviously especially now, wink, wink, I'm in that world day in and day out. So, but it never gets old for me because that's what I love. And that's what I have come to realize that I was meant to do. So I'm excited to see, and obviously, I know you've hit me up for recommendations for certain things before, but I'm also excited to see as you chronicle your adventure, specifically also as you start growing your business and getting that up off the ground. Because the cool thing is, regardless of what business you're in, whether it's mortgages or whether it's, interior decor and design, things like that, food is a universal language. And a lot of times it's a great way to promote and cross promote these types of businesses, because everybody needs to eat and drink as well, like you mentioned with that delicious wine that you get at Wine Time, which is, yes, it's a great spot. My friends over there,
let's shout out really quickly, and I am, the name of it is escaping me, but what was that new place over in New Riverside where we met for lunch?
Nom Nom Poke Shop.
Yes, I really enjoyed that.
It's great. The reluctant foodie who's from Beaufort, actually, Sean Hill of SK Designs. He does signage and a lot of different marketing services for businesses. He was over there today checking it out, and one of the girls, that I come across with a lot of times, I know she's a fan of the page and stuff like that. She was like, "Oh, you got to try their cucumber salad." And I was like, "Yes, the cucumber salad, the spicy cucumber salad, and the Connie salad. I know it's imitation crab meat. I love Connie salad.
I do too. Oh, I do too.
If you ever have the chance, you mix the two together, and that is outstanding. Because sometimes the Connie salad they mix with cucumber that's sliced the same way. It's like julienne almost.
Right.
Their cucumber salad's obviously not like that. It's like the cut, whatever quarters or whatever the cucumber. But their Connie salad is all tuna. I mean, all crab. So you mix those two together, it's like the best Connie cucumber salad that you've ever had. Yeah.
Okay, so of course now I must have that. Drool function has been.
Nom Nom's great. Don't sleep on also formerly, and there's going to be a Kobe now next to the Giuseppe's in town, but where there used to be a Kobe, which is in the shopping center where the Dairy Queen is, and what is now called Izu is one of our favorite places to get sushi from. Connected to Izu, and I believe operating out of the same kitchen is Poke House. Really good poke bowls there too. And I've always gotten very fresh. I'm a big sashimi guy, but I like all the different sushi appetizers too. I've always been happy with the quality of the fish and the seafood at Izu, and you get a lot of that with their poke bowls there. And if you so choose, you could pick up a nice dairy dessert, like what's it called, Blizzard or whatever. Sometimes Dairy Queen, they loop me in with their special Blizzard promotions, and I can't help myself.
Listen, I probably should have invested in Dairy Queen eons and eons ago.
Right?
We're a Blizzard family. But do you ever get sushi? Have you ever gotten sushi at Sumo?
Sumo. Where's that?
I'm not going to tell you where it is. We always order it for delivery. I will look here.
I think it might be in Hardyville.
It might be.
There's actually, the reason why I ask is because there's actually a Sumo going in. Yeah, it's in Hardyville. I think it's out by the Walmart. There's actually a Sumo. I don't know if it's correlated, but there's a Sumo going in on the island, actually right next door to where Great Bites is in the Northridge Plaza, where Great Bites and Taste of Europe and that kind of stuff. I think there's a Home Goods back in there.
Yeah, there is.
And still a movie theater, I feel like. There's a cinema, I think, on the other side. They're doing a good job cleaning that shopping center up little by little. I pop over there occasionally. But, all right, we got to get you out of here, pal. It's 6:15.
Yeah, well, that's okay. This has been so much fun.
Yes, it is fun. It is fun. And I appreciate you bearing with me. And it was actually a good thing that we rescheduled yesterday because as I got near home, there was something going on 170 and it was like literally gridlocked. I had to U-turn, go back out to 278 and take the other way over here. So it actually ended up getting back significantly later. So go do what you got to do. Enjoy your family dinner tonight as well. And let's get you booked for a sandwich soon during the tour, and let's have you come back. How about this? Let's put a pin in Maren Blue, and you can come back when you are ready to officially announce the website unveiling. And I think we might have to have a cocktail or maybe a glass of that wine at wine time to celebrate when it is officially in business.
Lambrusco at wine time. That's it right there.
Hell yeah. All right, buddy.
I'm ready.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you very much. Like I said, I'm extremely proud of you. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. And, keep me posted. I didn't know about this. I mean, I know this, like I said, this stuff is constantly evolving, but I'm glad that we caught up, and I look forward to continuing that conversation and many, many more. Again, my friend Jenn Bilcze from Maren Blue, who's about to make a big splash with the interior design and decor space here in the ever expanding beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina area. And as she said, even outside of area, with the benefit of technology, professionals like herself can actually help you anywhere in the country, maybe anywhere in the world. I don't know, maybe you want to go overseas at some point, but we'll take it one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
Making me sweat.
Exactly. But as we said, keep it moving.
Yes.
Right.
Let's go. Just do something. All right.
That's all we got. Stay hungry, my friends. We'll be back soon with more Soup de Tour. Thank you, Jenn. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Friends.